You're listening to the Back Porch Talk podcast. Danny and Jason had many discussions and debates on the back porch while making pivotal investment moves with assets. That's right, with trading cards. They welcome you to the back porch and right into those discussions about current sports news with a fresh and unique twist. So come on and join us. Welcome to the Back Porch Talk podcast. I'm your co-host, Jason.
Goes Danny.
Fans, we got a full show for you today. NFL, Heisman, a little bit about the NBA Cup, and oh boy, the college football playoffs are coming. But first, Danny, right into NFL weekend, and where these Green Bay Packers went ahead and just put the thing on the Seattle Seahawks, man. In Seattle, 30-13, Packers prevail. I can't even say prevail, man. Packers dominated this game. Josh Jacobs, 26 carries, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. He did fumble the ball. Packers kept, doing their thing, man. Jordan Love, 20 for 27, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, both to Romeo Doubs. And just a great look for the Green Bay Packers. I think Green Bay Packers, you got to watch out for, Danny. Kraft, as a tight end, continues to, really kind of help provide options for Jordan Love. Christian Watson, the deep threat, 3 catches for 56 yards, had a great toe tapping on the sideline catch there. Josh Jacobs out the backfield, 4 receptions for 42 yards. This was just all around, good game for Green Bay Packers, even defensively, man. Geno gets hurt in this game, but before he gets hurt, man, the Packers were just dominating. Seahawks didn't really have an answer, in my opinion. They tried a couple things in the second half, didn't work. Packers just prevailed, man. What say you, Danny, about this game?
And it was 23-13, and where Sam Howell threw a pick, which led to the Dobbs touchdown, but also there was a play where Jade Reed fumbled a punt, but he actually recovered it. So a couple of key plays there that the Packers capitalized on. Otherwise, the momentum was kind of shifting, even though Seattle had no mojo. I think if they had a better quarterback situation, because Sam Howell is not it. He was forcing the ball, and he was coming right off the bench. So it was good for the Packers to take advantage, and they did on the road. It was a big game. And it was actually a big game for the Seahawks, too, from their division's perspective, because that loss now, with the Rams sitting right there, Arizona breathing down their neck, that was a huge loss.
Danny, just a couple more games of note here, in my opinion. One being the Bills against the Lions. Bills goes into Detroit, and it felt like no defense was being played in this game, Danny. 48-42. And you might as well say no defense was being played, especially on the Detroit's end, because all their defenders are hurt. Detroit has a problem, man. Detroit was looking so good throughout the course of this year. And right now, or even the past few weeks, they have just been decimated by injuries. And this doesn't bode well for them moving forward, Danny. I believe Montgomery is out for the season now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen continues his MVP campaign, and I think for what it's worth, it may be wrapped up, Danny. This is a regular season award. I don't know any other regular season player getting a whole lot of shine other than Saquon Barkley, who I think is not as much on a $2,000 yard rush campaign as much. Media hasn't hit it. The media has gravitated towards Josh Allen. That's all you've heard. Media's also mentioned Lamar Jackson, who's having a good season as well. But let's just be real, man. Media is going to dictate who wins this award. And right now, the media is saying Josh Allen. 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, throwing the ball, 2 touchdowns, rushing the ball. 11 rushes for 68 yards. Just give it to Josh Allen, man. I don't know what else to say on this one, Danny, but I think Buffalo in the AFC conference is the team to beat. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, and I think we're really starting to see gaps in Kansas City's run for a three-peat. You give them credit where credit is due, but I don't think they got enough bodies to really, continue down this path of a Super Bowl. We've been proven wrong before, and right now, Patrick Mahomes is injured. So
Yep.
I don't know, Danny. What say you about this game?
Yeah, that Montgomery injury in particular is huge for the Detroit Lions just due to the running game and how much they rely on David Montgomery. Or on the Bills side of the ball, man, yeah, Josh Allen continues to do what he did. Amari Cooper didn't even have a target in this game, and they still put up 48. So that tells you something there. But yeah, teams playing Buffalo, man, you're going to have to bring it and score to have a chance. Obviously, it showed. The Rams showed last week you can do it. Even though the Rams almost lost that game, they did beat the Buffalo Bills and they outscored them. So teams that are going to give them a threat are going to have some offense. And that's where, like you said, with Patrick Mahomes getting hurt, it sounds like he may sit out a little bit here, and then they'll kind of reevaluate him. But you know what Buffalo does though in the playoffs. So is this going to be a different year? I guess we'll have to see.
If you were Andy Reid, Danny, would you sit your starters in Kansas City just to give them a blow, give them some rest, and realizing too that the number one seeds can still be won here.
Mm-hmm.
So you go for the number one seed, possibly resting for a week.
I do. I think because they have that advantage right now because Buffalo lost last week. At least give Mahomes this week, and because they play Saturday against Houston, and if they can win that game, because then they turn around and play on Christmas Day. So they did Kansas City dirty because they had 3 games in 10 days. So if they can win that Houston game with Carson Wentz starting, then I just say you roll with Carson Wentz, at least from the Mahomes perspective, just to buy him time. Now, if they lose, then you got some decisions to make because I think that number one seed is key because I think you'd rather have everyone go through Arrowhead than you go on the road. I know Kansas City can win anywhere, but it's just the extent of the injury. So, like Mahomes said yesterday, they have a better idea today because, paraphrasing here, with the adrenaline and everything, you just don't really know the extent of the injury. But he did get bent up pretty good on that play. So I'm saying go roll, at least from the Mahomes perspective, roll with Wentz. And then if they lose on Saturday, then you have a decision to make on Christmas Day.
And Kansas City right now is 13-1. Buffalo Bills are 11-3. I believe Buffalo was the lone one who beat Kansas City earlier this year. You're looking at maybe a game and a half that Kansas City is up on for that number one seed. Buffalo currently has on their schedule remaining Patriots, Jets, Patriots. Are you kidding me?
That's the layup line, Jason, right there. Now, if they can't sweep that.
Come on, man. Oh my gosh, man. This is in Kansas City's remaining schedule. Let's see, and double checking here because Kansas City has Texans, Steelers, Broncos. These are all tough games. You got a game and a half cushion, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
I think you give Mahomes a blow this week. Broncos, I could see him coming back against the Broncos. Patrick Mahomes, that is, coming back against the Broncos just to get some kind of rhythm.
Yep.
Even if it's for a half. Then if they have the number one seed, then go ahead and have them rest a little bit more, and then have them come back. But this all depends upon this upcoming game here.
Agree.
Because I wouldn't want to go Buffalo and all that snow, man. You kidding me?
That's my point, man. You want to get that home field.
You know you're gonna get snow in Buffalo, man.
And they've had a lot of close calls over these years in Buffalo. So you rather be at home, get some home cooking, and
Yeah.
route if you can.
Yep. And lastly, Danny, the other game I want to make mention of is Steelers against the Eagles. Eagles, goes ahead and pretty much pulls this out. Two good teams. Eagles 27, Steelers 13. Saquon Barkley 19 carries, 65 yards. The big thing here is AJ Brown getting 8 receptions for 110 yards, a touchdown. Seems like they done made up. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. Best team in football, from what it looks like, is the Eagles and Bills. It seems like, man. But the question is, are they peaking too soon? I think you gotta watch out for those Packers, man. NFC is loaded, but watch out for the Packers. What say you, Danny, about this Pittsburgh Eagles game?
It was good to see AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts dapping it up and high fiving. It's amazing when you get the ball how your attitude changed.
Mm-hmm.
And Devontae Smith had a great game yesterday too. So and Jalen Hurts is playing with a broken finger on his non-throwing hand. He's been dealing with this for a while now. So he had a really good game yesterday. And on the Steelers side, man, they don't have George Pickens, and their offense looks terrible. And T.J. Watt got hurt yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So they're waiting on the results of that if he's going to be out. If it's week to week? It sounds like it was a low ankle sprain versus a high ankle sprain, like Mahomes. So there is a chance he may even play this weekend against Baltimore. Good on the Eagles, man. They needed this win, and I think I look at man like Saquon,
Mm-hmm.
ultimate team player, because they're actually trying to push for him to get that 2,000 yards, and he took a step back and
Mm-hmm.
let the passing game kind of establish itself again, and get that drama put to the side. Now they can actually focus on football. They can, bond and get together, and now let's roll as a team and stop this bickering. But we'll see, because if someone doesn't get the ball next week, is it going to be the same thing?
Right, right.
So we'll see on the Eagles front, because their defense, man, they have a good defense too. So if that offense is clicking and they're rolling into the playoffs like that, I think they're going to be hard out.
We'll see. We'll see. The other game of note is tonight's game. Falcons, your Falcons and the Raiders in Las Vegas. What say you about your squad?
So, Jason, this could be the Desmond Ritter revenge game. Because Desmond Ritter is starting tonight for the Las Vegas Raiders against us. This is a game they have to win. The Buccaneers blew out the Chargers yesterday, which was not good for us, because that was a game we needed them to lose. Baker Mayfield threw 4 touchdowns. Big Mike Evans had 2 touchdowns. Great game. So this is a must-win game tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And is Kirk Cousins going to actually throw a touchdown? That's the question. This is a game they should win, but they should have won a couple of those last few that they lost.
Yeah, Danny, this is a big one, man. But you all can go on at least a 2 game winning streak here, man. Raiders, then next week is the Giants. After that, Commanders, and you wrap up with against the Panthers. So there's opportunity here for you all to do something. Right now, the Buccaneers, their last few games are against the Cowboys, Panthers, and Saints.
Man, I'm
It's
a big Cowboys fan next week. I'm truly, Jason. I can see the Panthers keeping it close, because they usually play the Buccaneers close.
Yeah.
Saints, man, I don't know. Kamara got hurt this week, and with the quarterback, you never know there. But yeah, Dallas, I think, is the one that could possibly beat them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Has the best chance, I should say.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be
We need all
interesting.
the help we can get now. We put ourselves in this predicament. Now we have to get ourselves out of it, and we need some help.
And now, Danny, on to the Heisman results, and where I don't think it was any secret that Travis Hunter wasn't going to win. He gets 552 first place votes. Ashton Genty gets 309 first place votes. And congratulations to Travis Hunter. His speech was great, and I noticed he didn't use any cars, not unless it was on teleprompter, but I think it was more so off the head. He did thank Jackson State his foundation, his beginning. So that's some HBCU pride there. I'm thankful that he did mention HBCU. Puts away the argument about, can a player from HBCU do what they do at the HBCU level? Can they do that at Division I level, A level, if you will? He's proved that. Shadur Sanders proved that. You can even talk about coaching, Coach Prime. Now kudos to Willie Simmons, former FAMU coach who took a detour for a year as a running backs coach in Duke, is now the head football coach at Florida International University down in Miami. Coaches can coach, man. And I'm happy that these things are being shown, being highlighted. So congratulations to Travis Hunter, Danny. What say you about the Heisman Trophy?
You're playing both sides of the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and he was top notch on both sides of the ball. It's hard to argue. I was a little worried because Boise State is in the playoff, right? And Colorado did not make it. So I didn't know if that would factor into this, but obviously it didn't. So it was just based on the talent and the season Travis Hunter had. And like you said, man, his speech was great. And now it's a matter of when he goes to the next level, what is he going to be? Is he going to be the quarterback? Is he going to be a receiver? Is he going to play both? So I'm very much looking forward to this as we've been following his career, as we've been talking about Jackson State and Coach Prime was there and everything. So it's exciting to see, and just curious to see how he does on the next level. So congratulations to him on winning the Heisman.
And Danny, just as you say about Boise State being in playoffs, just a quick note here that football playoffs, 12-team playoffs, starting this weekend, starting on Friday. Notre Dame playing, I believe, against Indiana. We'll see come Friday, Saturday. We'll see, how this shakes out. And obviously, it's going to be some more money, more revenue flowing.
Yep.
But yeah, playoffs are here. And now, Danny, just as we're talking about the playoffs for college football, another form of playoffs, the NBA Cup in-season tournament. And let me just say, man, I watched this game the Milwaukee Bucks had against the Atlanta Hawks, and this was a good game by the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis, 32 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists, and assists shy of a triple-double. Dame Dollar, 25 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Middleton comes off the bench, 6 points for 22 minutes. I think one of the things that people aren't seeing with Chris Middleton, in my opinion, is the way that he passes. He is a great passer, especially out of the pick and roll. This is the most pick and roll action I have seen the Bucks do. We've been screaming for this since they got Dame.
Yep.
And now there's pick and roll action all over the place. Multiple players. I mean, you see Dame and Giannis. You see Brook Lopez and Dame. You see Middleton and Giannis. And Middleton, the way he does it, I mean, he's tall enough to see over and really get the ball to Giannis when it's needed, man. Middleton is also scrappy in terms of knocking the ball out, getting some turnovers. He's doing those nitty gritty type plays that the Bucks really needed with his 6'9" frame while he gets back into game shape, while he gets, his feet up underneath him. It's going to take some time. I give it maybe another, 10 games or so, 10, 15 games. And then I think out of that pick and roll action, I think you'll start to see Middleton be more aggressive in terms of taking those shots even more. It's just a matter of time before you start seeing him even do more pick and pop.
Yep.
So that's going to be a new element there. And so I'm really anxious to see this. Now there's reports that he's sick. Whether or not he plays tomorrow night,
Yeah.
I would really love to see him play um, against OKC. And isn't it just a bit of fresh air to see two small market teams
Yes.
advance? In-season tournament can bode well for young teams and also small market teams
Mm-hmm.
to get more exposure. So this is going to be all interesting, Danny. What say you about this final game?
And to add on to what you're saying, Jason, it also gives a chance for some of these teams to galvanize,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as like the Bucks now, right? Because they had
Mm-hmm.
a really slow start, like turtle pace start.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're kind of getting going. They got Middleton back, and like you said, Middleton's just trying to get back into shape. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's been more of the emphasis because he doesn't want to shoot because his shot's probably going to be short. So why not?
Mm-hmm.
For him to pivot and take on that passer role has been great for the Bucks, and it's just good to see him out there. And also like the Hawks too, giving them this type of exposure and this type of game environment should help them down the line during the season. As long as everyone stays healthy, because they have a nice young nucleus,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually played the Bucks really well on Saturday night.
Yeah,
I
they
thought,
did.
or Saturday afternoon, I thought for sure they're gonna pull it out, but there are some things where they just didn't execute, and the Bucks did. So it was a great game that way. And then also, I wanted to see the Bucks win because I wanted to see them play OKC, and it'd be a barometer check,
Mm-hmm.
heat check, just to see where they're at. Because OKC is playing great ball this season with Shea and everyone doing their thing, even though Holmgren's out. I think this is a good game for them, and just kind of see how the Bucks play tomorrow night and what kind of effort and how they, do they get the win? Don't they get the win? Because I think they need the win, honestly. I think it'll just cement kind of what they've been doing over the last couple of weeks and propel them going into the Christmas break.
Mm-hmm.
But also like the younger players, like AJ Green had a good game the other day,
Yeah.
hit a couple big threes
Mm-hmm.
in transition. I know the TNT crew also called that out, him just taking the shots. Bobby Portis had a good game. Brook established himself, the biggest man on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Did some good work the other night too. So I'm just curious as far as the starting lineup. And once Middleton is right,
Mm-hmm.
do they change it? Or do they keep going with what they have right now?
I want to ask you, I think they changed it, Danny. I think you take Torrey and Prince out, starting lineup, and put Middleton in there.
Okay.
I think it's just a matter of time because you get not only defensive presence there, but you also get a threat of offense. Granted, Torrey and Prince 3-point shooting has been great.
Mm-hmm.
It just hasn't been on a consistent basis, if you will, for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you put Middleton in there when he's ready.
Thank you for joining us at Back Porch Talk Podcast. You can also join us on Twitter by tweeting us at @back_podcast. For more information, you can go to our website, which is backporchtalkpodcast.com. You can also email us at backporchtalkpodcast@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us, and remember that there's enough hate in the world, so go ahead and spread a little love.